I made it back to the shop, so got the second half of it set up right here. That's got to be drilled and tapped, and got her centered up. These two divots lined up good. This side over here, you can still see one little bit of a divot left that's lined up, but I think it's going to work out pretty good. Just working off of center distance right there, and it should work out pretty good. So we're going to get those drilled and tapped for 1/4 bolts, and we'll see if it bolts together. All right, we got our holes drilled and tapped. I used a spiral fluted tap to power tap it, and then I just chase them with a bottom tap by hand. All right, so let's see if they line up. And I purposely leave the holes drilled with a 1/4 inch drill, nothing oversized, just to help keep this stuff lined up good. All right, those are going in there, so let's go to the other side there. All right, I think we got success here. Let me loosen this side up a little bit. All right, we got this thing done. I just got to pull it out of there and clean it off. It worked out good. I don't think I had mentioned what it was for. This thing, there's no load on it. It gets clamped around a piece of pipe, and there's a chain that goes around it, and it drives an encoder to count the revolutions of the roll that it's going on. That's all it does. I built it exactly to their specifications on how they wanted it built. So that's it. We're going to pull it out of there, clean her up, and send it out. So up next, we got a broken bolt removal. Now, this is a fork off of a dirt bike. I think one of my viewers recognized that as being off a Yamaha, a YZ dirt bike. And there you can see where the pinch bolt goes. It's broken off in there, and unfortunately this particular customer tried to remove it himself, and there's a drill broken off in there. I know it's hard to see, but in the middle of that there is a drill bit, and that's what that is. And I didn't know what it was at the time. I didn't try to get it out of there. And you can see the bolt goes all the way through, which is in my favor here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set it up on an angle plate, and I had to kind of space it off just a little bit to clear one of those bosses, and just use one of my big boy clamps. Got it clamped in there nice and tight, and leveled it up. I leveled the tap into that other hole, and then lined it up in the center of the hole, and then offset it. And I want to say it was something like 20, maybe 25 millimeters center to center distance. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and go to a clip I took with my phone on trying to get it out of the hole there. And what my intentions were is to catch that bolt and push it back down through the hole. That's what I'm going to try to do here. Now, as I'm drilling this hole, listen for the sound that it makes. It's going to start making a squeaky sound, and that's where I'm running into what I think is an easy out broken off down in there. There it is. You got a broken ease off down in that side right there. Come on, focus. That's what I was hitting there at the end. Drilling down through there, and it was drilling into the bottom of that ease out. All right, so there we go. We'll run a tap through there, make sure the threads are clean, and that'll be ready to go. Upon further inspection, that is not an ease out, that's a drill bit. See how it's crooked? That's why the bolt wouldn't come out of there. As far as what I was doing anyway, trying to drill it out, something like that should just spin out of there. But that drill was caught over into the side of the housing there. So that's why it wouldn't come out. So I know that audio is always horrible with that foam. So just to summarize, we found the center of the bolt, we drilled down through it, and I ended up catching that drill. And as I was drilling it, I knew that something that simple, it should have just unscrewed, and I didn't know why it was caught like that, but that's why it was caused, because that drill was broken off down through the threads, and it was keeping it from spinning. So I finally got enough pressure on it to where the drill caught that drill, and it was able to just unspin it down through there, and it worked out pretty good. Luckily that drill wasn't up through there anymore, but I cleaned the hole out with a tap and got them back on the road. This last picture here, you can see some new hardware and washers on there for them, and that was one happy customer right there. So the next project we're going to move on to now is this new rod eye that I'm making for a hydraulic cylinder. That's a piece of 3.5 inch steel that we had burned out. We usually use Alro metals for that kind of stuff. They always do a good job for us. And just jot down a sketch and send it to them, and they cut it out. So I didn't really get a whole lot of video of this job right here. It was just, I didn't even have my cameras with me this week. I just got a couple iPhone shots right here. Got it chucked up, drilled it, bore it, and I've got to thread it for a 2.5 12 thread for it to screw on the end of the rod. I believe I already showed the rod that I made. Maybe it was last week. That shot right there was just for Rich Hawks over there at Shar's Tool, just to show him that I took my calipers to work, and I've been using them every day just to kind of use them and abuse them and see how they're holding out. And so far so good. I'm enjoying them. So there's a shot of the finished bore there for the threads. Everything turned out good there. I always face it off after I finish threading it, just so that we got a nice true face to shoulder up to. And now we've got it chucked up, and I'm going through the bore where the bearing is going to be pressed in there. Nothing too special right there. We're using a 2-inch bar CNMG 432 insert, and it didn't have a whole lot to bore out of that. Maybe about a 1/2 inch or so. It wasn't very much. And there it is. That was when I got it finished bored. It was bored to 4 3/4 or 4.749 is what I finished it at. Just one more shot of it there. I had people ask me about counterweights on that too, and a lot of that kind of stuff there, I don't have to counterweight it, but as long as you run a good speed, you won't have to worry about vibration there. So I didn't run it too fast to where it's throwing it out. There it is. There's another 2-inch bar with a grooving tool, high-speed tool for cutting the snap ring grooves. You'll get those cut in there. You got a snap ring that supports the bearing, keeps the bearing from walking out of that. And everything turned out real nice on that job. There I was test fitting one of the snap rings, and I always do that and measure my land width there between the snap rings to make sure the bearing is going to fit in there. And there it is, finished up. We got one more op to do though. We're going to take it over to the milling machine, and I'm going to drill and tap it there for a grease fitting. One of the things that the original eye did not have. So put a grease fitting in that. Hopefully it'll prolong the life of the bearing. And there it is, finished up, minus the bearing and snap rings, which we're about to do. I go over there and press it in on the little electric press, and there it is, all finished up, and it's ready to go. So that one turned out pretty good. I always enjoy getting to make that kind of stuff, those machining projects, and I hope you enjoyed following along with me. This is a clip from something that I've shared before, but I always enjoy sharing it. And it's really just a tip there. Anytime you got a thin wall tube that you're trying to machine, if you'll coil you up some rubber hose and put in there, it works really good to dampen the vibrations and the harmonics and get the chatter out of it. It always works real well for me, and I keep several lengths of it around the machines for jobs like that. What I'm machining there is an 8-inch ID. Actually, it's a 8-inch chrome ID tube for a pneumatic cylinder. Usually you just have to turn each end. You have to face it and turn the ends where it fits into the heads. And the ID is already finished with chrome and polished to size, and we just get it from, we buy it from a manufacturer like that. It's already finished.
Where's the neon?
I ordered my tag.
Yeah, I saw this message that you needed a tag. I saw your
Down here at Scenic 90 Cafe, and tonight's the little get together for some of the local Mopar guys, one of the little clubs called Unaffiliates. So I've been hanging with them a little bit, and this is the second little get together that I've come to. There's the cafe. And I don't know how the video is going to come out. It's dark. I changed a couple of the settings to try to improve the darkness of the video, so we'll see. But thought I'd get a couple shots of the cars. It's you know, a bunch of Challengers and Chargers and Mopar stuff. It's a stick.
Well, I had a stick before, but now I got the auto, and when you get the auto, you get to do this little feature right here.
Oh, auto start.
Must be automatic.
Yeah, I have to push my clutch in.
drag strip though. The automatic will beat you at the drag strip.
Hey, I found some new tires though. I was looking at those drag radio 55.
There's one of the SRT Hellcats. Those are sweet. Here's the black Scat Pack. You might recognize that one. It's hiding in the shadows.
Yeah, so they, but they was too close to like, but then Equalizer came out first. I thought they was been on there. I did take one
I think this is a Duster.
Dash is right here.
Oh, it's a Demon. Okay.
Gauge clutch is right here. But that's not going back here. Yeah, it depends on the month. Sometimes we get a ton of people here, sometimes not.
There's another Hellcat. Kevin's over here today doing some work on his truck. He said that the shock mounts doesn't feel right. We may have to make a little bushing. Show him what it is that you think's wrong.
Well,
See how the shock's moving around? And it makes all that noise whenever you're driving it. So He thinks that maybe that's the wrong shock, or maybe there's a bushing or a sleeve or something that's missing out of that upper boss. He's going to get it apart and we'll do some measuring and see. So here's what I come up with. The holes in these things are 15 millimeter. The hole in the frame is 15 millimeter, and the bolts 14 millimeter. An awful lot of slop in there, and you can see it's wearing on it too. So quick choice was to find some 15 millimeter bolts, which is going to be impossible on the weekend with nothing but Home Depot and Lowe's open. So that would have to be a special order, you know, from a fastener place. So just trying to get something going here. I took a piece of 5/8 solid brass stock and turned it and drilled it 14 millimeters to basically make a little thin sleeve that will go in here. We'll have to just kind of tap it down in there. Maybe go over to the table. I'll make the other ones a little bit smaller, but how does the bolt feel anyway? Is it still a little rockety?
It's got just a tiny bit, but
all right.
Hell,
I guess
that's only whenever. I don't see that. I mean, it's obviously a hell of a lot better than what it was.
Yeah, just a little quick fix for that. Trying to help them get that. Well, it ain't squeaking so much on the back of the truck, so I'm gonna go ahead and knock out 3 more of those and get that done. All right, so Kevin's got his shocks mounted back on there, and he says that they feel like they're better now. It's definitely not wiggling around like they were. So I made 4 bushings for it, top and bottom. Maybe that'll work, and you won't hear so much rattling.
It definitely helped.
You think that'll work?
Ain't no play now.
All right, good deal.